my property in Missouri. Here's the west boundary. I've got it scratched there along the road. We could not find the survey stakes. That's the edge of one lot. Each lot is 330 feet wide by 663 feet deep. I have two lots. It might be too bright looking into that darn sun, but we'll have to see. And I'm going to stop here just for a minute and pan back. My property line is just behind my truck on the opposite side of the road, of course, and it runs down the road, goes down that valley, and starts up from the low spot in that valley, goes up probably another 100 feet, and now we're back to my property. Has some very nice pine trees, a lot of different trees on the property. It's really thick back in there. As you can see, this area up here is pretty level, and it goes back in 100 feet, 200 feet with just a nice gentle slope towards the south, and then it starts to break a little bit faster when you get back towards the back of the lot, which is, like I said, 663 feet deep. So basically the two lots combined provide a parcel that is roughly 660 feet square, which makes 10 acres. And now I'm coming to the only survey stake I could find on the front here. And this would be lot 47 on the left and 48 on the right. And the survey stake is the piece of rebar back there with the yellow cap on it and a little white ribbon. So from here we have one lot to the left, which would be the west, that goes 330 feet, and the other lot goes to the east 330 feet, which is down the hill. The only sound I've heard all day since I've been down here is individual has an acreage behind me, has been doing some work apparently with his SUV, perhaps hauling some firewood. He's been making a lot of trips back and forth, and otherwise I think there's been about one car go by, and that's about it. A lot of different varieties of trees. As you can see, looking back, there are a lot of young evergreen trees starting, both sides, all over the area. The winter temperature down here, it doesn't get the low temp is probably around 20, so about 10 degrees below freezing is about the low temperature for the winter. The frost line for construction is only about 12 inches, so you don't need to do much of a footing. A lot of different trees, pines and hardwoods. I'm not familiar with most of them. Of course, a lot of oak trees. Now we're down in the low spot of the road, and there's a ravine over here, a wash, and that wash is on my property. And I've marked where I believe my property line ends. I measured 330 feet from that one survey stake that I could locate. And here is scratched there in the road should be the other property line with the two rocks at the end. And looking up the draw, which is all on my property, you see there's a lot of rock outcroppings down there. It's probably hard to see, but there's a lot of rock outcroppings back in this draw. I imagine they've just been washed away over the years from the water, washed away the soil and left the rock. Some nice pine trees up there. Here's looking back up from my east property line up the hill. And remember, my property went up to the back of my truck, and of course from here you can't even see the truck yet. Here's the view across the road. Just more of the same. And there's a gully, of course, that they've got a culvert under the road. Nice stand of evergreens on this opposite side of the road. Now we're back to my property. It should be that everything you see on the film, on the disc, is part of my 10 acres. I'm going to do it again going back this way, so I'm not aiming that camera into the sun. See if that helps with the picture quality. There again, some really nice evergreen trees. I hope I'm getting what I need to film in here. The sun's so bright on my viewfinder I can't quite tell what I'm aiming the camera at, but I know I'm close here. And there again, some of the evergreen seedlings that are volunteering. They're looking for a spot of sunlight's what they're doing. Some of the wooded areas are so thick that the evergreens or any tree has a real hard time sprouting. Again, we're still looking at my 10 acres. And there's the survey stake, again, between lot 47 and 48. And looking back up the hill, still can't see my truck. The property line is, the west property line is not in view yet. And now we're up at getting near the level area. Oh, and here comes the car going by. That's okay. That's about the second car I've seen today. This is still my property. And there again, the property goes to the back of my truck.